here, but here's what some people are saying right now, that Howie's willing to move on from some of these guys because he's looking to make a big swing and take a big swing. And that big swing would be for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
That's logical.
Yeah, why not? But by the way, Dallas still out of money using Groupons.
I mean, Philly makes a lot of sense. I think you might have floated.
I don't know. I don't know why Green Bay doesn't go all in. I don't get it. I'm Green Bay.
Maybe they don't think they're close enough.
Well, they haven't had a consistent pass rush in forever. Last time they went big, Reggie White for a dominant defensive player. Twice in their existence that I remember, Charles Woodson, Reggie White, they went big. Paid off both times, Super Bowls.
What about Washington with Jay
Again,
Martinez?
Washington would be a great place to go. I mean, Green Bay feels, I think Buffalo makes sense. I think Green Bay makes the most sense. I think Washington makes sense.
If you're one of the 7 contenders in the league, I think you've got to be picking up a phone and calling Cleveland and just at least floating something just
and by
to
the
see
way,
what it will cost.
Okay, so we've watched LeBron and Steph, who everybody thinks past their prime, what they've done with a new teammate. Do you not believe that Myles Garrett, playing for the Green Bay Packers or the Philadelphia Eagles, you think he's good now? What if every game's televised? I mean, they are literally, Cleveland is the 4th most interesting team in their division. The Philadelphia Eagles are arguably the most interesting team in the league. So if you take Myles Garrett and you're like, bro, every game is on Fox. Every game is Sunday Night Football. Every game is Monday Night Football. You are at the centerpiece of one of America's great sports football cities. I think you'll get an elevate. I think Myles Garrett will be better than he is now.
If you're looking right outside the contender batch, we saw the Chargers allegedly are going to be moving off Bosa. There's a lot of chatter about that.
Yeah.
What if you make a move on Myles Garrett? Have him opposite Khalil Mack out here in L.A. I mean, if you're in like the top 10, you're good. I think you got to make a move on Myles Garrett.
Yeah. They're kind of missing the point, although I agree with what Colin was saying. I guess I should say that J-Mac is missing the point here as his eyes are closed. Let me try to get it more. There you go. He wants to win. He wants to win. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He also just doesn't want to be competitive. He wants a real chance to win and be a contributor on that team. And the best team is the Philadelphia Eagles. At this point, they won the Super Bowl. I know you guys know that by now. They won the Super Bowl. Saquon Barkley wanted a chance to win a Super Bowl, and so he went to Philly. And again, I don't know if you guys know this, but Saquon Barkley had the best year ever in the history of the NFL for running backs, and then he went on to win the Super Bowl. So, I just don't know if you guys know that or if you're aware of that. A.J. Brown really wanted to compete. He wanted to win. And so he went to the Philadelphia Eagles and won a Super Bowl. Fangio really wanted to win, have a chance to win. And, he went on to win a Super Bowl. So the Philadelphia Eagles are the best place. The second best would honestly be the Kansas City Chiefs. Because these are the two teams that have consistently shown that they know how to do what needs to be done, and that the organization as a whole knows how to pivot, how to make changes, how to be aggressive, make the right choices. Even if they make the wrong choice, they know how to correct it. So, you can go to the Chargers. And I think the Chargers are an up-and-coming team. No doubt about it. I'm very high on a team like the Chargers. But it's still a risk. And you're saying, alongside Khalil Mack or Jalen Carter, and Fangio. It's just, there's levels to this. And, again, it's not to say that I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are, guaranteed to get back to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl again. No, but I think it's a safer bet, relatively speaking, that the Philadelphia Eagles, unless they really drop the ball, which is possible, it's always possible, that within the next 3 years, they should be in the Super Bowl again. I always try to take a very grounded approach. I've said this a lot, especially since the Philadelphia Eagles won. I'm not going to be like, oh, Philadelphia Eagles are repeating. They're the number 1 team next season. You can't doubt them until they're dethroned. I don't take that side. That's what Nick Wright does and all of these other people. I don't do that, man. It's season to season to season. Of course, there's a lot of overlap, and, I can still say that obviously last year can have some impact, but it also depends. I mean, if there's 5, 6 however many key players that are different, I'm going to be like, well, this is a different team. I don't know. We got to wait and see how they play. We got to see. I try to stay very consistent in that regard. But what we are confident, because the Eagles have proven this, that if they make certain choices and they end up being the wrong choices, they're going to do everything they can to pivot very quickly. And that is what happened in 22 to 23 to 23 to 24. And they've done that also in the previous years beyond just that as well, with Carson Wentz, et cetera, et cetera. Doug Peterson, like they make moves. So yeah, I think just Myles Garrett going to the Philadelphia Eagles gives him a level of confidence and comfortability of like, listen, there's no guarantee that I'm going to win a Super Bowl, but at least I'm going to a franchise that has consistently done everything it can. I mean, heck, they went out and got me. That speaks volumes. And it wasn't out of desperation. It wasn't even just being aggressive. It was calculated aggressive. Calculated aggression. Like there's a difference. The Cleveland Browns were aggressive when they went out and got Deshaun Watson and paid him all that money and guaranteed. It wasn't very calculated. And, also desperate. Didn't work out for them, obviously. And so we see lots of teams do that. And like I said, I think there's going to be plenty of teams that are going to be getting better and better. The Commanders, all these teams, no doubt about it. But you're going to have a greater degree of confidence. I do think the Commanders are going to be getting better and better and better. But they still have to prove things. They definitely still have to prove things. They're still. I know they reached the NFC Championship game this past season, but we gotta wait and see. They definitely made some correct decisions, no doubt about it. But Howie Roseman said this himself. This is Howie himself said, "Listen, winning one Super Bowl, some people can say that that's just kind of a fluke. It's just kind of lucky. But winning two, you can't take that away, and that's true." He has a track record of consistently making great decisions. And I would say really only at this point the Kansas City Chiefs have that. And probably third would maybe be the 49ers. But they're definitely in a little bit messier of a spot. Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, their quarterback is more proven. Fangio is more proven defensively. These are guys now that have proven to win at the highest level that we really only see now with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles. We can't say that necessarily with the 49ers. I believe in the 49ers. I believe in the Commanders. I believe in the Chargers, but they're not proven yet. They just aren't. So I can have belief in them, but it's also kind of like technically not the safest bet. And so if you're Myles Garrett, and this is what's going to be really interesting, I don't know how much pull Myles Garrett has in this play, or the Commanders, or excuse me, are the I can't think of the name, Cleveland Browns, or do they want to do right by him? Are they just trying to maximize what they can get back in him? Or are they going to be like, don't worry, bro, like, we appreciate everything you've done for this organization. You've been an awesome soldier. We did a terrible job of putting the team out in front of you. We never really put you in a position to win. Like, we got you. We're going to obviously want to maximize our returns, but if you want to go to Philly, we'll make it happen or something. We don't know. We really have no idea. And every situation is differently. Sometimes they really do want to do right by the player, and they're like, yeah, man, we got you. And other times it's like, this is the business. This is the business. You got no say in nothing. It is what it is. So I don't know. The kind of the implied aspect of all of this is that the Eagles are going to have to let go of a handful of pieces, and again, who knows who that actually is outside of a couple of the obvious names that we are already pretty sure that are going to be gone like a sweat, like a big play Slay, but I don't know if like Myles Garrett then replace that, because I know they're not going to try to just get I don't know. And this is also the other benefit of having someone like a Howie Roseman, is that you can be confident that decisions like this, again, are calculated. That they're not just random, chaotic, like, Myles Garrett's available, sure, let's just bet the farm and go get, like, it's smart. They know what they're doing. And if he's going to give up 2 first rounds or 1 first round, even if he does something crazy, I don't think this is going to happen, but gives 4 first round, something where everyone's like, oh my goodness, it would still be calculated. It would still be based off of, like, deep analysis. And when you have the record, when you have the confidence and the experience of a Howie Roseman, you could say, okay, I don't maybe understand it in this moment, but this is where I have to just kind of defer to the expert, defer to Howie here. And that is what, makes you more confident going in this situation, no matter what happens. Whether they pass on him, whether they make a big play on him, who knows? Also, Myles Garrett, in terms of his contract moving forward, who knows what he's going to want to do, especially if he is with a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think there's so many factors at play. And right now, and this is what I tried to tell people for a while now, even before the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, that the Philadelphia Eagles are undeniably a destination city team for players. And I got in lots of fights with other random players with other commenters who just they just don't get it. They don't seem to grasp. And I give them like concrete examples of this, of players that absolutely love Philly, both current, past. They absolutely love it. They love the fans. Yeah, they know the fans are hard, but they love them. And like Colin just said, that this is, whether you want to say it's the number one, I try not to speak in that much of extremes, but like it's clearly a top, just sports city, let alone NFL football city, that it's just like you're playing in front of a passionate crowd. You're going to get extra money off the field, no doubt about that. They love it. They absolutely love it. Even someone who had a controversial time in Philly, Terrell Owens, absolutely still loves Philly and says the fans to this day still treat him better than any other fan base. Those things are just loud. CJ Gardner-Johnson talked about how upset he was that he had to leave and he was just in his feelings. And, they absolutely love Philly, and that matters. And players want to play somewhere where not only can they win, but also where a place where they not only do they feel wanted, but they love the experience. And that's the benefit of a city as well, like Philly. Because it's obviously going to be, way bigger than like a Cleveland, a Kansas City, any of these other smaller things. You still have access to New York. Like it's just a great place to be out on the East Coast. You're not kind of stuck. You're not kind of trapped. And culturally, and you're going to be able to find anything you want in a city like Philly that you might not be able to find in some of these other cities like Cincinnati, Milwaukee, like wherever it may be. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Hawaiian, whatever it is, Philly and New York are going to be very similar in that regard, where no matter what your background is, no matter where you come from culturally, like you're going to find your place. And so, that's why someone like a Mailata can kind of, just integrate very smoothly. So I think just, there's obviously, when you're the Super Bowl winning champions and it's clearly doesn't feel like it's a fluke because one, you won in such dominant fashion, as well as you were in the Super Bowl in 22. If the Philadelphia Eagles just randomly won this Super Bowl, I could see some a little bit more, hesitation to be like, what is this? But it's just like, you can see what they've consistently been able to do. So I just wonder if also like if Myles Garrett's like, I want to be traded, get me out of here, and if he's in a position where he's just kind of like, I have to just be completely hands off on this, or is it just very much like they're working together to find the right situation? And if they are, then that obviously benefits the Eagles. So it's just like, I don't know. It's well, this is one of those annoying things where we just don't have all of the information, and any of the information that we hear, it's always kind of like, what does it actually mean? And the last thing I'll say is it's like I try so hard, and it's just you're kind of trapped in this way with all of the random speculation, and it's frustrating because I made a Las Vegas Raiders video all about potential of Matthew Stafford going to the Raiders, and we had all this great conversation about it. And even in that video I was like, I hate speculating because we're gonna have this whole video and then for all we know he's gonna sign somewhere else, and that's what happens, right? He just signed with the Rams, and it's just kind of a waste of time. And it's like, I can make this video, by the time it posts, boom, Myles Garrett signs with the Canadian Football League, and it's like, great, we just wasted our time here. So it's just like we never really have the information. So it's more difficult to like really comment confidently as much as these people love to be confident about what's going to happen. And it's just like, I try not to take that angle personally. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles, I guess, favorites to go get Myles Garrett? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.